hang down and do it again if we could. The greatest 4 years ever. But if we make it to where the players don't enjoy that time, then we failed them. I don't know. I don't know if I will or not. I know I can coach for until I wake up and I dread going to work just because I said I don't want to do it or I'm tired. Then I won't do it anymore. I'll just walk away. But I feel good. I love the players. I'm happy. And so how long it can go, I don't know.
Personality-wise, do you see any similarities between Barry and Barry J?
No.
Different?
They're not even the same. Barry Jr. took after his mom. He's got a great personality. He's outgoing. He likes to talk to people. He smiles all the time. Barry Sr. He's not going to say two words, and he would rather be in a certain area, and that's just who he is, But now they look just the same. Their body structures are the same, but their personalities aren't anything anywhere.
When you were recruiting him out of Oklahoma City, was there a sense that maybe he wanted to go somewhere to kind of get away from the pressure of playing where his dad did?
You would have to ask him that question at some point, but in my opinion, he wanted to try to be himself somewhere else. That's just my opinion.
How close were you guys? I mean, was it, or did you get the sense early on that you wanted to try something?
We were in it till the end, but I didn't think that we had a chance over the last 6 months.
When did it resurface this past year? I guess when he announced it.
November, December.
He called.
Well, you can't call.
Right.
They communicate through other people, and you hear things, and we can't communicate to him. Start hearing stuff like that in November, December, January. They're so closely tied to our school. All kinds of friends and people, and they tell them, and they tell them, and they start calling up here. So.
All right, Coach, I'm going to take it really local. You just added 2 kids from Whitesboro, Texas, Jake Dyer and Jake Cox. What's it like to add 2 kids from the same school that work really well together? Do you see that chemistry just growing?
It's always fun that if you can have 2 young men that have been together. A lot of times they don't want to do that. They want to separate, but sometimes you find that. So it's fun to have them there, to see what they can continue over the next few years.
All right, and I have to ask, what was your first reaction when you heard that they're bringing back the big college championship game?
Well, just mixed reactions in all areas based on what's best for our league. In the end, you have a company that provided statistics and data that's way over my head, and the presidents, the athletic directors, and the conference bought into these statistics that were supposed to provide us a better chance to get a team in the playoff by adding a game. How they do that, I don't have a clue, but they did, and so I'm supportive of whatever they think is best.
Are you excited that it's going to be you guys having instead of just at the end of 12 being a conference game?
Well, I think that, there's 2 ways to look at it. If you need to make up some ground in the playoff system and you're in it and you win, it's fun. If you're in it and you lose and you get knocked out, it's not fun. And that's why there's always debate over a championship game. From a few years ago? Well, you never get over something like that. I thought we had the best team in college football that year. Obviously we would have played less than them at LSU, and got all the respect in the world for them and their program. But there's a chance we could have held them to 20 points, and I don't know that anybody could have kept us from scoring 30. But you don't ever forget something. It's hard to get there. Yeah, it's like Phil Mickelson the other day. When he lit that putt out for to make 61 or 62, whatever it was, and they asked him about it, and he said he was disappointed because when am I ever going to get that chance again? And that's what sticks with you as a competitor, as a coach. In that game? Oh, I mean, you can kind of do that forever. We played flat, and we just stayed flat, and they just, played on the road and made a play here, made a play there, and momentum took over for them.
Coach, sorry to ask this question again, but the hair, are you deeming it a mullet, and is it here to stay?
Well, I don't think it's a mullet, really. I think you have to have at least a couple more inches on it, maybe a little curl to it before you can actually call it a mullet. And I haven't decided with the rest. Right now it's pretty entertaining because it really agitates my two kids at home, so I like to agitate them. So I may go with it for a while because they say it embarrasses them in front of their friends at school. So I kind of like that.
Coach, been a lot of talk about satellite games lately. You guys were doing that a long time ago. And
We were the first ones.
right. How has it benefited you, and how has your use of them changed?
You can't even put a number on it for what it's done for us. One, it allowed us to market Oklahoma State University in the state of Texas. Two, it gave our coaches a chance to coach and teach in front of high school coaches and potential student athletes in the state of Texas and show them who we were. And then lastly, we could develop a relationship with players that at some point we may recruit. Otherwise, those young men would never get to Stillwater. And so it was one of the key parts of building and developing us into who we are today.
And there were things in motion to try to put a stop to it back then when you were first starting in like 07, 08, right?
Coach Brown, my buddy, Mac Brown, and Sherman at A&M got the Big 12 to put a stop to it because they didn't like us coming to Texas and having cans. And so the Big 12 put a stop to it. And when that happened, we should have never allowed that because, that's what we're supposed to do, right? And since then, the NCAA's gotten involved in it. And they've tried to stop it for every year for 5 years. But the SEC said they're not going to do it, they're not going to do it, they won't do it until they said you can't stop it, and then they did it, right? So I think it's great for college football. I think it's great for young people that don't have financial means to travel to other schools. They can pay $30, $40, whatever it is we charged. And I think this year we had 25 schools, 7 or 8 Power 5 schools in one location. And a parent can give his kid $30 and say, drive over there 5 miles and you get to spend time with them. That's a great deal. That's why it's good for college football.
Mike, what have you thought about Cliff Kingsbury and Patrick Holmes, the job he's done developing him as a quarterback? Just what makes him special is that dual threat type of play.
Well, I think Mahomes is as good a quarterback that there is in this league. Maybe arguably in the country, I don't know, whoever's good and whatever, but on any given day, he can run and he can throw, and he's athletic. And he's one of those teams that I talked about that you may go in and play them, and in some people's opinion, may be favored and should beat them. And if he gets hot, you're in trouble. And they've done a nice job, and he's a good football player.
Mike, is there a certain amount of time on the job for you where you're comfortable with who you are as a coach, you're comfortable in your position, comfortable with your job security, and all those things you can just sort of go coach?
Every day now. I just talked about that a second ago. If you do this long enough, and I say if you, I don't know, me, I guess, but I've talked to some other coaches that have felt the same way, and when I talked to them 4 or 5 years ago, I didn't feel that way. But we have a system in place in what we do, and we bring in young men and we develop them, try to make them the best they can. We teach them, we coach them, we try to prepare them for life. I enjoy being around them. I like watching them grow, all different types of personalities. and we make decisions and we go with it, and we are never going to make everybody happy. So we do what we think is best. I'm responsible, me, for my family and that team. I don't have a hobby, but those are the responsibilities I have in that order. My children and the team. And so coaching is just the same as parenting. The hardest decisions are the best decisions are usually the hardest decisions. But it's just the way it is. And so I'm comfortable with where I'm at, comfortable with what I'm doing, the decisions we make, the staff we have. And we're not going to win every game, but we're going to play hard. We're going to compete. We're going to do it the right way. And that's what we believe in.
I mean, you're the rare combination of a relatively young guy who's been in his position, quite a long time. Do you ever feel the pull to reinvent yourself, or reinvent, kind of some of the things you're doing? You know what I'm getting at?
I did at one time, a few years ago. There was several coaches would tell me that, if you stay somewhere more than about 7 or 8 years, they're going to fire you. They're going to eventually think that you're not any good, you don't know what you're doing. And that's just human nature, that we can always get somebody better. It's the philosophy is you need to move around. But my kids and their stability is important to me. I love Oklahoma State, the people, the battle that's there. We have a battle every day, a fight, and I like that now. And so I think there's a lot of truth to that, but I don't have the desire to do that anymore.
Did you not like the fight at one point?
No, I've always liked it, but if you stay somewhere a long time, you start fighting other battles, and so you have to pick and choose which ones you think are best and which ones you let go and what you take personal and what you don't.
When you talk about the fight, do you mean like just in state with Oklahoma, sort of being who they are?
Well, not particularly, but yeah, that's a battle. There's years in state where we had played just as good, if not better, and if there was 5 players, they were going to get 4, and we were getting 1. And so you can sit there and run and get in the corner and pout about it, or you can go to Texas and get another player. And we've tried to come up with answers to battle not only that, but other areas that's just kind of the fight. Geographically, our location at times can be difficult. We're in a state of 4 million people. We don't have professional football. The total number of schools, even football in Oklahoma is getting better and better. But for a while, you were getting 10 times as many Division I players in the Dallas area than you were in the entire state of Oklahoma. So, just all those different battles that you have to fight to come up with a solution.
What did you think of the Kevin Durant decision?